Welcome back to another episode of the Glory Hunter Save here on FC25, where today we are still with Arsenal. It's the second episode. We kicked off last episode with that transfer window, and then we obviously kicked it off with the three first league games in which we won all three of them, 4-1, 2-1, 2-1 against Leicester, Leeds, and Fulham. Now we have probably the toughest schedule, or the toughest month I've seen on FC25 throughout the entirety of this game cycle. If you were to look at this and say that some club had to play this in real life, especially with the teams and the quality of today right now, you might think they might not walk out of here with a single point in any of these games. Man United, Bayern Munich in Champions League, Bournemouth, which should be easy on the game, but Bournemouth in real life would be very difficult. Bournemouth, Man City in the Cup, a cup that I don't care about to lose, to be honest. Aston Villa in the league, away from home at Villa Park. Atletico Madrid away in the Champions League. Newcastle at home. Very, very tough schedule. For what we're going to play, it's going to be Man United, Bayern Munich for sure. And depending on how each of these results go, it'll depend whether or not we play either Newcastle or Atletico Madrid as the third game. We'll simulate through the rest. The Carabao Cup, I'm not too fussed about. I don't care because that's not one of the two cups we got to win for the league anyway, or for the Glory Hunter anyway. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this game straight here against Manchester United at Old Trafford. Strongest starting lineup. Let's get into it. Here is Manchester United's lineup. Restes in net. Tuchel part of the back three. This is a weird formation. It's a weird way they just showed the formation. It's a 5-2-3 or 3-2-5, whatever. Yeah, well, let's get into the game here. Y'all know our starting lineup. It's not changing. I did update the sliders a tiny bit to make them harder for myself because it felt like it was getting a little easier, even though the sliders are absolutely absurd of what I've been using. But we're still finding more success, so we decided to turn them up a little bit. Saka now down the wing. Saka into Luis Openda. Luis Openda into Martinelli. Martinelli now cross back in. Can Luis Openda get there? No. Bukayo Saka, second ball. No. Cleared off the line. Into Zubimendi. And Zubimendi, if that was Valverde, I would actually committed to hitting it. Federico Valverde now down the right-hand side. Federico crossed in. Kai Havertz, how does he still have possession of the ball there? That's absolutely absurd. It's Trinicao, it's Kai Havertz, it's a shot, it's a save by Raya. Zubimendi, Martin Odegaard, into Luis Openda. Luis Openda into Gabriel Martinelli now. Martinelli against Tuchel. Tuchel did well to force him wide, but there's Gabriel Martinelli hitting the inside of the post, taking the lead. 1-0 for the Arsenal, 30 minutes in. Martinelli, Odegaard, into Valverde. It wasn't the best of the balls. Odegaard's been sus on his passing today. Not been the best. It's Martin Odegaard now. Into Saka. That one's a good pass. Saka, maybe my passing itself. Maybe the pass error is actually showing up a difference now. Okay, I did up that quite a bit from what it was. Trinicao and Costa with the interception. And now here comes Martinelli. Gabriel Martinelli getting a pass to Tuchel. It's Gabriel Martinelli. Can't get past another defender. I don't know who that is, to be honest, on the back line. Might be a regen or some sorts. But Openda fighting for it, but carries it out of bounds. Martinelli, one last chance to try and double the lead before halftime. He spins off the defender, and Gabriel Martinelli, that was fantastic. 2-0 for Arsenal. We got to halftime with a 2-goal cushion. Don't tell me you're about to send off a right back for that challenge. It was not that bad of a challenge. It is only a yellow card, okay. The way the crowd kind of reacted, it felt like the game was about to give me a red card. The challenge was not bad. I mean, it's a little from behind, but still. That's completely fine. And that is game over. Arsenal 2, Manchester United 0. We move on to Champions League football against Bayern Munich. Our first Champions League game of the season. Alphonso Davies may be a little bit of a special match for him as he's facing up against his former club. Odegaard, Valverde, and Zubimendi looking to control that midfield again while the front three just do their job and put the ball into the back of the net. That's their only aim today, is to try and do that at every single possible opportunity. And here is Bayern Munich's lineup. Emiliano Martinez is in net. That is absolutely assuring. They obviously have Kivior as part of the swap deal as their new left back. Reece James at right back. Vitinha Lavi on the midfield. Myers there it goes, and Frimpong there, and then Victor Roku at striker. Meyer might be a chance for Bayern to take the lead. It was honestly shocking defending from myself. I can't even put that on AI. It was just shocking from me. 1-0 for Bayern Munich. Valverde now. Can he thread that into Saka? He tried to, but Burjano was there. Odegaard, Ruiz, Valverde, Saka. He's going to bring it out wide a little bit and then try to cut back, but his former teammate Kivior was there with the interception. Saliba into Valverde, who's down the right-hand side now. And Federico Valverde by himself. He has Saka in the box. Saka will lose the ball. Then he'll get it back of a deflection. Cross back in, straight to the keeper. Saka against Brian. Is that Odegaard? We're going to look to find him into space. Frimpong. You're never going to win that battle against Jeremy Frimpong. It didn't look like Frimpong. So that's why I played it. Saka now, again on the ball. Over the top for Openda. Openda header off target. That was our best chance. We are starting to grow into this game now, though. And thankfully, they've only scored one when they could have easily scored 3 or 4. Saka, Valverde, back to Saka. Saka now, crossed in from Martinelli. Second ball, possibly. No, cleared off the line. Or cleared by the defenders. Odegaard will pick it back up in the midfield. Now Federico Valverde. Valverde gets past one. Valverde now, he's known to do that. That shot is blocked. And that'll be half time. 1-0 down here, but the boys are starting to grow into the game. Victor Roku winning the ball, or losing the ball, I should say, falling for Odegaard. Now out wide for Martinelli. Martinelli in for Frimpong, and for Openda. Frimpong's not in the passage of play as well. I was trying to say, so an attack was allowed to fornicate. And what? Can you tell I'm getting sick? I'm not even speaking the proper right words. 1-1. Openda makes it 1-1. Saka into Openda, and look at that ball, and then look at that ball to Martinelli. Maybe not the best, but the keeper positioning was awful for the shot. And Arsenal, we were waking up in the game right coming to halftime, and we did not let go of the pedal during that halftime break. We take the lead here, 2-1 for the Arsenal. Bayern Munich are crumbling. Victor Roku 2-2. Our lead, our happiness didn't last too long. Victor Roku makes it 2-2. Calafiori is coming on at left back. Endrick is coming on for Openda. And Zubimendi is coming off for Jurdic. Valverde is going to sit deeper. Endrick is making his one game that he absolutely needs to make in every single competition. So that checks at least the Champions League off for this season. I gotta remember to start him against Man City in the Carabao Cup. Odegaard out wide to Martinelli, and now Gabriel Martinelli. I don't know why I just fumbled on my own words. Martinelli into Endrick. Endrick into Waneri. Ethan Waneri. He tried to go near post. That was never gonna work out. You can't do that anymore. That was patched. Martinelli, you went ahead and no. Valverde wins it though. False Odegaard. Now to Jurdic. Into Endrick, and tackled off the ball by Hincape. Meyer. Victor Roku. That was a great, well-worked move, and Victor Roku hits the roof of the net. He goes in the back of the net, and Bayern Munich are going to have the win here. a bright start to the second half, we turn the tides. That didn't last long, and then Bayern Munich take the lead. Can we do the same long here now where it doesn't last that long for them? Bayern Munich, no. Martinelli's shot was muffled so bad the keeper didn't have to pick it up. That is game over. Arsenal 2, Bayern Munich 3. We again are going to go ahead and jump to simulation of the games that we are not playing in this crazy month. And the first one up is against Bournemouth here. And Bournemouth take the lead in the first 10 minutes, 1-0. So what is Ollie Watkins doing at Bournemouth, and why is he scoring? It's 2-0 for Bournemouth. I'm not jumping in. I'm letting it happen. Saka gets one back. It's a little too late, though. 73rd minute.
So the ball is rolling.
And unfortunately, Saka's goal was the only goal that we've scored in that game. We completely dominated them. 54% possession, 11 shots, just 2 chances. They have 0 chances, but scored 2 goals, so I'm not quite sure what that means for them. But a 2-1 loss against Bournemouth is not good. That's actually our first drop points, the first loss at all. Actually, is it? No, did we not just lose to Man United? No, we beat Man United. Yeah, that's our first loss of the season. In the league, at least. It was a perfect 4 for 4. Carabao Cup action now again. I don't care what happens in this cup. It's not one of the 2 we want to win in this season, or one of the 3 we want to win in this season. Endrick gets the start, so he at least ticks off the cup competition here. And what hopefully is the only game we have to worry about in this cup. But hey ho, anything is possible. Pablo Gavi opens up the scoring first in the 57th minute. 1-0 to Man City. And Endrick level thing. Endrick, what are you doing, bud? I was happy with us losing this game. Endrick, come on now. Well, it's a penalty shootout for the ages here. Hopefully we can get knocked out, but anything is possible. I mean, anything is possible now with penalty shootout, but Saka misses one.
He had to score, and he does.
Endrick, you brought us here. You could do the decency of missing. You don't.
And there it is.
It's fine, man. So you're still playing a perfect 3 for 3 here. Odegaard missed this one. You missed one in real life recently. You actually missed your last one in real life. Missed that one. You don't. And Martinelli misses, and Arsenal are out of the Carabao Cup. I'll happily take that. A cup competition we don't care about winning. Another game we are simulating through here is against Aston Villa. We are going to go ahead and simulate through Atletico Madrid as well. We're going to play Newcastle in the league.
What can they do from here?
Martin Odegaard right before the break. 1-0 to the Gunners. A 1-0 win is all it needed to take, and it's all we need. 3 points back in our bag for Arsenal. I'm honestly not even going to simulate through. I'm just going to quick sim. A 2-0 win here for us against Atletico Madrid in the Champions League. Openda and Openda. A brace for Openda in the Champions League. We stay perfect in the UCL. No, we don't stay perfect. We got our first win. I forgot we lost the first game. Arsenal versus Newcastle. Newcastle were at 3 games in. Well, the only team that actually stayed perfect with us. They have since dropped off just as well as we have. They are 2 points behind us now, alongside Chelsea and Man City, who all have 4 wins, 1 draw, 1 loss each, respectively. Obviously, this is a little bit of a grudge match in the terms of the save, because Arsenal, I was the manager of Newcastle, I should say, for half of a season last season. So for a season and a half, I was the manager of Newcastle, switched my allegiance over to Arsenal to try and win the league and the FA Cup. We lost in the FA Cup, and then we bottled the league to Fulham. So, yeah. Didn't really, I mean, the same scenario I would have been with Newcastle. We don't care about their lineup. We know Allison is in there. We know their lineup. If you watch this series, you know their lineup for the most part. Obviously, they could have made changes from the season and a half that we left them ago, but hey ho. But Schmidt, we know, is a very decent striker, and he gets a corner in the first action of the game. It is Kubo on the attack. Kubo, Martinelli heads it down. Saliba's there. He's going to carry it out, then try and clear, but straight to Timber. And it's Schmidt, who is actually onside, gets another corner. Bakayo. Still Bakayo. Still Bakayo. Still Bakayo. Out wide for Martinelli after a deflected pass. We don't get an advantage for that, which is absurd. Saka's down, injured. Openda on the header, no. Valverde trying to come crashing in, no. Saka, who's finally back up on his feet. It will fall for Martin Odegaard now. And Martin Odegaard from outside the box, block shot, rebound, able to clear it. Costa winning the ball back. Odegaard now, awful pass. Saka into Openda. Openda into Bukayo Saka to Valverde, to Openda, to Odegaard on his left foot. First time finish. Allison initially made the save but couldn't keep it out. It goes into the back of the net. And Odegaard has the lead for Arsenal 20 minutes in. Ruiz, Saka, Odegaard, Openda, first time finish again. Openda makes it 2-0. I've seen this before where we score 2 in rapid fashion and still lose the game. Saka now, Bukayo Saka, still Bukayo, still Bukayo, it's still Bukayo, it's still Bukayo, it stays Bukayo. Allison carries it out for a corner. It's Saka on set corner. He got the corner. He delivered it. Not the best. Odegaard now on the ball. Martinelli into Saka. Saka into Valverde. And Federico Valverde now. Federico Valverde hits the post. Halftime. 2-0 for Newcastle. Alphonso Davies now. Alphonso Davies. Out wide for Martinelli. Caballeri's going to cut inside. He's going to look to find Valverde. Valverde into Saka. Saka hits it on the volley. 3-0 for Arsenal. And the lackluster second half is coming back to life here. 3-0 for the Gunners. Odegaard. Saka, did he come back onside? He was offside. He's onside now. Defender caught stabbing at the ball. And Bukayo Saka, who's completely dead tired, finds the back of the net. Arsenal make it 4. Saka coming off for Waneri because he was completely tired. Calafiori's coming on for left back, I think. And then Doms is making his return to first team football after tearing his ACL last season, coming on for Martinelli. Did I bring on Calafiori for Davies? I don't remember doing that. That's not the one I remember doing. It's going to look incredibly one-sided on the highlights and on the scoreline, but it's not as if Newcastle haven't had chances, because they've definitely had chances. All their chances have either been straight at the keeper or completely off target, but they've had the chances there. We are going to go ahead and pick up all 3 points here, though, as it goes out for a corner, actually. So maybe a fifth here is looming. No, Allison will make that save. A 4-0 win for Arsenal against our former club, Newcastle. And we stay top of the table here. And so we survived. We survived the September massacre here. We did go ahead and lose 2 games that I cared about losing, which was against Bayern Munich in the Champions League and then Bournemouth in the league. We lost, thankfully, in the Cup to Manchester City. I'm completely happy with that. We beat Aston Villa. We beat Atletico Madrid. We beat Newcastle. We beat Man United. We stay top of the Premier League table. October, it doesn't get crazier. It doesn't get easier. Well, it doesn't get that much easier because we still have Chelsea and Man City in the league. I will want to beat Man City in the league this time. We sit first. Chelsea, who won the league last season, they are on our tails again, just like Manchester City are as well. So we'll look to go ahead and beat both of those, kind of get some ground on them earlier in the season. As far as the Champions League, after 2 games, we sit 15th there, obviously on our quest to win and fill out this trophy cabinet. I gotta change this year to 2028 because that's obviously not gonna happen. We just passed that. I didn't get a job for international management. Well, I didn't take a job for international management because I completely forgot about it when it was too late, too soon. So yeah, I will see y'all for next episode. Leave a like, subscribe, and peace out.